Joshua 5:7 says, so it was their children. Again, the parents were not allowed into the land because they were disobedient. So it was their children whom he raised up in their place that Joshua circumcised. For they were uncircumcised because they had not been circumcised on the way. And so what we have here is a couple things. First off, if you and I reject God, if we do not trust God, if we do not want to be used by God, then he will raise up others in our place. Okay, Adam did not guard his garden, and so he drove Adam and Eve out of the garden and put a cherubim there to guard the garden. So he raised up someone else to do what Adam was supposed to do. Here, Israel, this generation, was supposed to enter the land, but they did not believe God. They did not trust him. They did not want to be used by him. And so God made them wander the wilderness until all of them died, and he raised up a new generation. If you and I are not faithful to believe that God will use us, then we can miss out on his blessings and promises, and God will raise up someone else to do it. But what we also see is that these people, they weren't just unfaithful in the fact that they didn't believe God or trust him whenever Moses had sent out the 12 spies and they came back with an evil report. But these people had not circumcised their children. Their children had not been circumcised on the way throughout the wilderness. They had not been faithful as parents in this regard to raise their children up in obedience to the covenant that God had made with Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, with the people of Israel. These people had continued in their unfaithfulness and their unbelief, and really they're just plain and simple disobedience. And so what Joshua is doing now is Joshua is circumcising the people, and he's making them ready to receive the promised land that God has ordained for them to have. And so he's getting the people ready physically, spiritually, emotionally. He's bringing the people to the place where they need to be in order to fully and readily receive the land that God had promised to their fathers. And so in Joshua 5:7, it says, so it was their children whom he raised up in their place that Joshua circumcised, for they were uncircumcised because they had not been circumcised on the way. Joshua 5:7. The challenge here, parents, is for us to be faithful to the covenant, for us to raise our children to know the Lord, to be obedient to the Lord, and to be ready for all that the Lord has for us to do. This is Joshua 5:7.